Hey guys, how are you? I'm Joe, and today we're finally at the end of the Harry Potter series. My series of Harry Potter reviews has unfortunately come to a close, but it was one heck of a journey talking about these movies with you guys and revisiting the Harry Potter franchise as well. And before we get into this review, take a look at this shirt that I'm wearing. Hogwarts. I am proud to own this shirt. Figured I'd try something a little different rather than wear the same Gryffindor or Ravenclaw shirt that I've been wearing off and on with the previous other videos that I've done on Harry Potter. But without further ado, let's talk about Deathly Hallows Part 2, with spoilers of course. Deathly Hallows Part 2 picks up right where Deathly Hallows Part 1 left off. Dobby is buried in the sand with a proper funeral, Voldemort has the Elder Wand, and Harry, Ron, and Hermione decide to recruit this goblin Griphook who works at Gringotts Bank in order to sneak into Bellatrix Lestrange's vault to find the Horcrux and destroy it. Hermione disguises herself as Bellatrix, they sneak into Gringotts Bank with the help of Griphook, and they're able to sneak into the vault, but unfortunately, Griphook betrays them after taking the Gryffindor sword, since Harry made a deal to give him the Gryffindor sword, and he stabs them in the back and takes off with the sword, leaving them to die at the hands of that dragon that's trapped deep down inside the bank. But fortunately, Harry and the gang are able to escape on the dragon. They fly off into the sky, and they're dropped into the water outside of Hogwarts, but unfortunately, Harry lets Voldemort inside his mind again, and Voldemort is able to see that they know about the Horcruxes, so that gives him a bit of a disadvantage. They sneak into Hogsmeade to try to find a way into the school, and they run into a man named Aberforth Dumbledore, Albus Dumbledore's brother, who apparently had some kind of a falling out with Albus in the past. I don't know exactly what it's all about, but he reluctantly agrees to help the trio out, and thanks to the portrait of Dumbledore's sister, Neville appears and helps him sneak into the school. Now, before I get into the rest of the good stuff, one thing to notice right off the bat, this movie is very fast-paced. It just keeps going and going and going, and it never loses steam. It doesn't feel like it's rushed. I actually think it gives you enough time to get into the characters, but at the same time, we've had the previous 7 movies to build upon these characters, so everything in here comes to a close. I mean, to say that this movie's non-stop action kind of does a disservice to it, because when you see certain things play out the way they do, everything feels warranted and satisfied. So Harry manages to sneak into the school and reunites with all the other students like Seamus, Luna, Neville, Ginny, and all the others. And they're all excited to see Harry come back again, and after everything that's happened, they're all on Harry's side. There's no question that he's in the right on this one. And Voldemort's army is controlling the school, so they say, yeah, Harry, you were right all along. We gotta stop this thing, and right now. Which leads us into the scene where Snape has the entire school gathered in the dining hall, having known about Harry's appearance in Hogsmeade, asking them if anyone knows about Harry's whereabouts. Any person to have knowledge of these events will be treated as equally guilty. And after a little while, Harry decides, you know what? Screw it. I'm right here. Here I am.
Tell them how you looked him in the eye, a man who trusted you and killed him.
And after Snape disappears, Voldemort appears in this really weird cryptic message, or whatever it is, some kind of a threat, giving Hogwarts an ultimatum. Give me Harry Potter, and you will be spared. You have 1 hour. In Slytherin, the House of Slytherin, or at least one of the students, argues that they should take Harry to Voldemort. But Professor McGonagall thankfully has a plan. Tells Mr. Filch, take the Slytherin students to the dungeons. We'll take care of Voldemort. In this case, you can't trust the Slytherin. I'm sorry. And afterwards, as McGonagall and the rest of the staff are rounding up students and any kind of security forces to protect Hogwarts, Harry goes off to Ravenclaw Tower to find the ghost of Helena Ravenclaw, since her mother, Rowena Ravenclaw, the founder of Ravenclaw, has a tiara that Voldemort used as a boy to turn into a Horcrux. And that's one of the reasons why Harry came back to Hogwarts, to find one of the Horcruxes and destroy it. Thanks to Luna, he's able to find the ghost of Helena, and at first she's not really up to the idea of telling Harry where this thing is, because of Tom Riddle talking to her many years before, promising to destroy it, but instead defiling it with dark magic. But Harry promises that he will destroy it once and for all. She doesn't exactly tell him, but she does tell him it's in the Room of Requirement. You'll find it there. So Harry goes off to the Room of Requirement, while Ron and Hermione head off to the Chamber of Secrets to find the Basilisk basilisk fang and destroy the one Horcrux that they have, very successfully, while Professor McGonagall, Lupin, and all the others set up a defensive shield across the school to protect it. So Harry goes to the Room of Requirement, he finds the crown, but Malfoy and Goyle and somebody else show up. I forget the characters' names. For some reason it's not Crabbe, I don't know why. And he threatens to harm or kill Harry to take that Horcrux. But Harry knows better. Why didn't you tell Bellatrix that it was me? You knew it was me. You didn't say anything. And you can see it in Malfoy's eyes that, yeah, he's right. Maybe I am going soft. Malfoy is still a jackass, but as I've said before, there's some good in him, whether he wants to admit it or not. But then Ron and Hermione show up just in time to save Harry, and when Goyle tries to use the killing curse on Hermione, Ron chases after him like a madman. And as with the others, this movie never forgets the sense of humor with this line.
That's my girlfriend, you numpty!
Or this line, for instance, when Harry goes back to save Malfoy from the fire.
If we die for them, Harry, I'm gonna kill you!
Wait, so how can you kill him when you die for them? Whatever. It's still funny. I can't help it. But they're able to destroy the crown and they kick it into the Room of Requirement where it's destroyed in the fire. But then Harry finds out after getting inside Voldemort's head that Voldemort's snake is another Horcrux that they gotta destroy. But then Harry's able to determine Lord Voldemort's location at the boathouse on the river, talking to Professor Snape. They get there and Voldemort is asking Snape, how come this wand isn't doing what I'm asking? And Snape is clearly trying to hide something. But my lord, it answers to you. But Voldemort knows that's BS, so he has his snake kill Professor Snape. And you know what, up until now, you're kind of hating Professor Snape, but his death, it's heart-wrenching. Especially when he says to Harry, you have your mother's eyes. And he tells him, take my tears to the memory pool, or whatever it's called in Dumbledore's office. And at this point, when they go back inside the castle, a lot of casualties have taken place. Professor Lupin and his wife Tonks have been killed. And then, Fred Weasley, Ron's brother and George's twin brother, was killed as well. I thought Dobby's death was too hard to get through. But the moment that I, and maybe some of you, have been waiting for. Let's talk about Snape's memories. So Harry, with Snape's tears, takes them to the memory pool in Dumbledore's office. And he looks into them, seeing what this is all about. And not only do we learn a lot about Professor Snape, we also learn about why Harry is able to do certain things in the previous movies. But let's talk about Snape's memories first. We actually learn that he met Harry's mom, Lily, when they were kids. They both went to Hogwarts, but they went into different houses. And he was in love with Lily, but she didn't feel the same way about him. She felt love for Harry's dad, James, who was in a lot of ways the bad boy of the school. And they ended up becoming separated from each other, and Lily and James ended up being married. And at the time of Harry's parents being killed, Snape was aware that Voldemort was on the move to find them, begging Dumbledore to hide them. But unfortunately, they're too late. And then we see another thing with Dumbledore and Snape talking. Now, if you remember, in Half-Blood Prince, Dumbledore's hand was turning black. Some kind of a disease was overcoming him and it was killing Dumbledore. And then Dumbledore tells Snape that we know that the Malfoy boy has been ordered to murder me. You must be the one to kill me. Which is why Snape was doing this to Harry right before the moment happened. And then it's revealed that Harry is indeed a Horcrux himself. The night that Harry's parents were killed, when his mother jumped right in front of Harry, Voldemort killed her, the curse rebounded. And a part of Voldemort's soul died, was set loose, and lashed itself onto Harry. Which is why he's able to talk to snakes in the second movie and see inside Voldemort's mind from Order of the Phoenix up until now. And we see a little bit of that in Half-Blood Prince with the ring and the book. And Snape realizes what Dumbledore is asking. You've been raising him like a pig for slaughter. Don't tell me you've grown to care for the boy. And all of a sudden, Snape conjures a Patronus. The same Patronus charm that led Harry to the Sword of Gryffindor in the previous movie, Deathly Hallows Part 1. Now, while you could argue that this whole scene is exposition heavy, this is much needed though, because it tells you a whole lot about Snape's character. And when you watch the other movies with this knowledge, as well as the knowledge of Harry becoming a Horcrux, makes it even more richer. And I can tell you, watching this on opening day, I hadn't read the whole book all the way through. I just maybe read a little bit of the ending, but I was floored by this information. I could not believe my eyes. And up until then, I was hating Snape, but now I felt so sorry for the guy. Maybe I'm just fanboying too much, I don't know, but Snape actually turns out to be a more tragic character after you learn this information. He hates Harry because of his father, James, since he hated James, but he's also Lily's son, which makes Snape care about Harry. In this image right here where Snape is crying over Harry's mom, God, emotion, man. And the look on Harry's face after he sees this information, that says it all. And Harry decides that he has to get himself killed in order to stop Voldemort for good. So he goes off into the Forbidden Forest to sacrifice himself, and we get a really good scene with his parents, Lupin and Sirius Black. With the Resurrection Stone, I finally remembered what it was. As a final word with everyone there, goes to Lord Voldemort, and Voldemort kills Harry. But then we get another great scene with Harry talking to Dumbledore in Limbo. Now the Horcrux that was inside Harry is dead, and Voldemort is vulnerable to attack. So Harry decides to go back, but then when Harry comes back to life, Malfoy's mom shows up, but he asks him, "Is my son alive?" And he shakes his head, yes. And she decides, "Alright, fine. I won't tell them that you're alive." Okay, maybe she's not so bad after all. Like her son, or her husband. Voldemort and his guys take Harry's body back, gloating about the fact that they killed Harry and asking the rest of Hogwarts to join him, and Neville makes the most awesome speech.
Harry's heart did beat for us. For all of us. It's not over.
But then Harry wakes up and everybody is shocked, and Voldemort, he's upset. And the movie just gets right back into speed, and everybody's fighting again. Harry and Voldemort have their final confrontation. Ron and Hermione try to find the snake, and with just the help of Neville with the sword of Gryffindor, he's able to defeat the snake. And also, I gotta show the scene with Ron's mother killing Bellatrix.
Not my daughter, you bitch!
Mother of the Year. I even heard that the actress say that that's her favorite line that she ever said in the movies. Harry and Voldemort finally battle each other with their wands, and Voldemort is defeated for good and evaporates into ash. Everything is back to normal. Harry reunites with his friends. Then the movie cuts to 19 years later, when Harry, who's now married to Ginny, they are taking their kids to King's Cross Station. Ron and Hermione have now married, and they're taking their kids to school as well. And Malfoy's got a son of his own, and he is also taking his kid to school. I just got one little nitpick, though, with this ending. I wish they would have brightened the color palette in this one because it's got a grayish blue look to it. I wish they would have brightened it up a little bit more to give us a more brightful future kind of look. But still, I love this ending. It's so perfect. It's like certain movies with a really satisfying ending, like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2, The Dark Knight Rises, Return of the Jedi, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Back to the Future Part 3, or maybe a more recent example. This whole movie is just like, it's over. But I don't want it to end. And the final image, it's bittersweet, really. I don't think there's any other way I could describe it. That's all I really have to say about Deathly Hallows Part 2. It's my other favorite in the Harry Potter series. Azkaban, Order of the Phoenix, Deathly Hallows Part 2. Those are my thoughts on the Harry Potter movies. So thank you so much, guys, for watching these videos. Thanks a ton for your support. I'm sorry that I couldn't get this up as sooner as I could. With certain things happening in my personal life, it kind of got in the way. I had to pick myself back up, as you could probably guess. But either way, I had a great time talking about these movies and revisiting them. And even though I'm not like a huge diehard Harry Potter fan, this series is always going to have a special place in my heart in some way, because I'll never forget the experiences of going to see them as they came out, and the finality of it all. I will never ever forget those experiences. So stay tuned for more videos, and I might do another series of older movie reviews. In fact, I'm going to make an announcement here. I'm planning to review every single Spider-Man movie leading up to Spider-Man Homecoming in July of 2017. I can't wait to talk about those movies. I'm really excited. And I might even do the original Star Wars trilogy this coming May for the 40th anniversary of Star Wars. But that's a whiles away, so we have some time. Thanks again, guys, for watching. What are your thoughts on Deathly Hallows Part 2? Love it? Like it? Think it's okay? Or did you hate it? And what are some of your favorite Harry Potter movies? Whatever they are, comment below and tell me. And I'll see you guys next time, and have a Happy New Year.